Hey everyone, and welcome to Brett Talks About 2022. Again, I don't have a cool bit for this year like I did back in 2020, because, Christmas time gets crazy. I will try and think of something hopefully for next year. But for now, let's just talk about 2022. First off, I would like to state that I am definitely feeling better than I was at the end of my 2021 video. Yeah. I mean, I'm still a bit congested and whatnot, but I got better, and then I got not better again. So yeah, so just saying, that's already improvement. And honestly, just overall, for me personally, 2022 was better than 2021 in general. Like I said, back in the last video, I had some stuff go on in 2021. Basically, person was in the hospital in October last year. So yeah, not having to deal with that for an entire month is a major improvement. I know some of my friends had some personal things going on, and I'm sorry to hear about those things. But we got through those things. We made it to 2023, everybody. That's something we're celebrating. Basically, if you're new to the format also, I'm going to go over my personal events for 2022, as well as whatever historical stuff caught my eye and I wanted to make note of in my Word document. That is 6 pages long. Yeah, 6. I will cover those who are no longer with us. Basically, celebrities, but also some of the personal, losses that we had this year, because, it's good to remember those people. Quick disclaimer on that, I will not have everybody ever, because I'm not as familiar with certain people who did pass, so I'm going to apologize for that. And then finally, just the wrap-up is going to be the plans for 2023, and just kind of a fourth small thing in the 2023 plans. Just a nice personal message of like, hey, like, hope, let's press on, we'll make this work, and go from there. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Brad's events of 2022. First off, I beat Crash Team Racing just 100%. 101% apparently is get all the trophies and a gold relic minimum. And to get platinum, you have to do some crazy things. Beat time trials of entropy and nitrous oxide, which are tough. I'm not an expert kart racer, using power sliding to get turbo and keep going as fast as possible. Though I have picked up a few tricks for Cortex Castle and can do that level decently. Yay me. I love the game, but I never beat it back in the day on the PS1. I had to be like probably 10 or 11 for that. Patrick did beat the main campaign with Neo Cortex. It's a fun game, and I appreciate the inclusion of Spyro and some Spyro-themed levels as well. Back on the PS1 in their respective series. They had little demos of the other games, in their series, so Crash had Spyro, Spyro had Crash. It was cool synergy from, I believe, the second Crash Bandicoot game forward. But yeah, I'm just glad I got to beat it 100% at least, and I beat Oxide and all the normal relics. May try for the other stuff, but 100% completing a game, is worth celebrating, I would say. Even if I have work to do for Platinum, if I want it. Maybe too much for me, like Crash 4, it's about Crash 4, It's About Time, or Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, games I talked about last year, I think. Yeah, it had to be last year. January 8th, I helped John, my oldest brother, with setting some lights in the basement of my mom's house. He has experience with electrical work and was teaching me a few things. Closest experience I have is setting up projectors at Lakeland. And all I did was run wires from a projector to a laptop and DVD player in the room. Not as technical as stripping wires and such like John did, but a good experience. Though if I pick up a technical school, I think I'll stick to basic carpentry. At worst, my shelf falls apart. John put in lights in the laundry room, the basement, and the basement furnace and storage rooms. It's cool stuff. I have pictures of the lights. My basement can be a bit messy. Apologies for that. The project took place over the course of January. I'll try and work in those pictures too, and any relevant pictures, post events, because that makes this video more dynamic and interesting. Also, I'm going to hate myself for having to do additional editing. Moving forward, though, January 17th. Got my COVID booster. I have some arm ache, and of course, there had to be a rough snowstorm, meaning a lot of people didn't make it to work that day. Also, no customers, so yay. Feeling a bit weak today, but that might just be because I've had to push myself a lot. Christmas, New Year's, and just work in general. I just want this to be over. You know, bad things happen. I'll probably blame myself. So if you haven't yet, be safe and protect yourself and others. It hit home recently. A bunch of coworkers had it and came back when they were well again. But yeah, you know, I worry about getting sick and how it'll affect the people closest to me. You know, family, friends, etc. Protect yourself, protect others, be safe, be good. That's all I have to say about that. January 20th, roughly. Microsoft, I guess, bought Activision Blizzard, so that potentially affects Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and World of Warcraft, among other properties. That's, you know, I'm not sure how to feel about it. If I remember, I'll update this or comment on it more. I haven't, so I didn't, so oops. I'm not going to have any captions for that, just hey, whatever. There's one more thing about that I do want to say, though. You know, Crash put PlayStation on the map, being the unofficial mascot of the original console, and moving on to the PS2, as well as the Xbox and GameCube, because they were under Naughty Dog, Traveler's Tales at the time. You know, I hope that any future Crash stuff does get to other consoles as well. IDK if I'll still be gaming, but it'd be nice, you know. Crash Bandicoot 5, Crash Team Racing 3, 4, or 5, or whatever the heck. I don't know what number they're on. But yeah, just saying, like, if you guys do anything with Crash, Spyro, etc., please, you know, spread the love. It's nice. They were allowed to come to you guys. All I'm saying. Whew. Okay, anyway, February 12th. Attended OhioCon again. Just went for Saturday and a bit of Sunday morning. My first convention since January 2020. Because of how crazy things got. The big thing. This was just a testing the waters kind of thing for me. You know, I miss conventions and my friends, but there is still some risk despite vaccines and boosters. You know, lots of people in one place, spreading stuff, etc., and then going back to their homes and yada yada. Just saying, it's worrying. It was good seeing everyone again, and the joke in the convention community was that this was our own time skip. You know, basically a number of anime have a period of time that isn't really covered. You know, so maybe the team, you know, can get stronger or something. But yeah, this was ours to regroup and get things better in control. I had my concerns because it is based in Columbus and I'm from near Cleveland. So basically, you know, just a couple hours away. They had good policies in place for people to attend safely, and I'm glad for that. Thank you. You guys did good. I think everybody did good. Thank you, everyone. We got through it. February 21st. The final episode of the Arthur television series aired. Honestly, you know, I've just seen a couple episodes. It was a nice series from what I saw. It wasn't the biggest thing for me personally, but something like that is noteworthy. One of the YouTubers I followed in the past, Peanut Butter Gamer, was a fan, and he kind of looked like Arthur in the end. February 22nd of the year 2022 was a Tuesday. Honestly, I wish I could say something cool happened, but nothing that I know of. Maybe you know something. Please comment that below. March 7th, saw The Batman, the 2022 film. You know, Batman with Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. It was a long film, definitely different from the usual films we've seen of Batman so far. You know, the Adam West movie, the Christopher Nolan movies, the Schumacher movies of the 90s, and of course the Tim Burton film of 88 or 89. I had fun watching it, but it was a 3-hour film with a number of twists to the story. Hard to really review the film for a general audience, but I liked it. It was interesting. It kept me engaged. But it may not be for everybody, is just what I'm going to say. March 10th, yeah. John finished up work in the upstairs crawl space, you know, / attic of the house. It was a bit of work to get things done right. You know, had to put in some handles, a few of the repurposed pieces from the basement project, and rerun some wiring. John had the lion's share of work because he knows his stuff, while I was a student / assistant. Because like he told me when remodeling, it can suck to not know what the last guy did, and this was work that we were doing on a piece from the house originally which was originally in the 40s, the 1940s, 80 years ago. It's kind of like that cliche of, doing hands-on projects with your dad, except with my brother. It was cool and interesting. And please do not ask me to do stuff. I'm not skilled at this, and I'm just an extra pair of hands. March 26th and the 27th. Almost certain I had food poisoning. Another grueling experience like kidney stones, though this only lasted 12 hours. Hot showers and drinking water seem to help, though be warned, if your stomach gets too full, you will lose all of that. I did repeatedly. I would legit suggest once you're stable, get to the ER. It was hard as hell getting over that hill. Symptoms can apparently last days, sometimes according to some quick research. I also heard that there was a stomach bug going around at the time, so perhaps it was that. And that fact had me worried about my mom. I was out of commission for hours. If something happened, that would be on me. Yeah, life's rough. Right. I guess March 3rd. I might be wrong on this. The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's an awesome, scary guy if you've ever seen him, wrestling. He was big when I watched in the late 90s and early 2000s. He rode a Harley, came out of a coffin on several occasions, and just always in scary character. But upon that announcement, he did break character because it was such a big moment. Also, I'll always remember setting our special move as the Tombstone Piledriver in one of the PS1 games. Because wrestling games, it was the most powerful move. We really liked him. He retired from wrestling in November 2020.
Woo! Taker! 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 Woo!
According to my research. April 23rd, saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Patrick and Nicole. It was a nice movie, similar to the first, in that one could say it was more of a kid-friendly film, but it was awesome seeing Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails on the big screen. I'm not the most hardcore Sonic fan, but I do like the series. Well worth the watch, I would say.
His name is Sonic. He runs all around, jumps upward and down. He's Sonic.
May 21st, attended the Cleveland Asian Cultural Festival with my friend Nicole. It's a cool event with lots of food, cool vendors, and live dance performances of classic dance as well as some current. K-pop and J-pop. They had a dance competition. I'm going to blow my nose at some point. Hopefully once I get this done. Evil Dead the game was released also. Pat, being the cool guy he is, bought copies for himself, John, and me, whatever. We're all fans of the series, and it's a multiplayer game that's cool. It's a solid game, and I seriously enjoy it.
Hey, I'll swallow your soul. Groovy. Wait, what?
Let's see. June also had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was released. I haven't played it yet, but I did see Red Brad's Let's Play, and it looks cool. Like what Scott Pilgrim should have been. Scott Pilgrim the game should have been. I hope to play it. I still haven't got it yet. Hopefully soon. We'll see what happens. Moving on. Started watching Z Nation, and honestly, I like it better than The Walking Dead. It's a fun series following a group of heroes and their misadventures trying to get a man who is apparently immune to the zombie bites, thanks to a vaccine or whatever, to a lab in order to make a vaccine from his blood. It's a bit more silly and fun than Walking Dead, and the main cast is very solid throughout. I finished the series. It was excellent. Season 5 was a bit weird. Basically, they had zombies who still could talk and were essentially human and could be normal as long as they consumed Bizkits, Bizkits, which had lithium in them. Also loved the big twist with Warren in the end. She had died, but she still seemed normal. Also in June, attended the Mardi Gras parade with family and my friend Nicole. It was nice, but this year the actual carnival was a bit lacking. I've heard about how there were complications with the ride company. I don't have anything else on that, unfortunately. July, got God of War 3 from PlayStation Plus. I played the first 3 God of Wars, God of War 1, 2, 3, and the 4th game is awesome. I love it. Not quite finished yet. I did finish it eventually, though. Um, then I attended the Lake County Fair with Nicole and Ashley. It was nice. What I would say, the Mardi Gras was several years ago. You know, lots of rides, games, and a few other things the Mardi Gras couldn't have. You know, like animals and such. I still love the Mardi Gras and will always attend because it's a big family thing. But the Lake County Fair is worth seeing as well. Also, my mom volunteered with them, so we saw her for a bit too. You know, she likes my friends Nicole and Ashley. I picked up a mini guitar, which I've played around with a bit. Honestly, mainly as a D&D prop. But I also want, you know, try and learn it myself just for being able to play the guitar. And then another thing, I joined up with a D&D game with some other members from the Band of the Red Hand Facebook group. You know, a group for the Wheel of Time series. If you're not familiar with it, it'll take me a little while to explain. But basically, the Band of the Red Hand is just kind of an army that was formed by one of the three main characters of the series, Matt Cawthon. So yeah, just kind of a fun thing to go with. I made another Gnome Bard for this one. This one is School of Valor, though, and is named Jason Natial, a reference to the Wheel of Time. Basically, he was another Bard performer character, but also kind of important for within the first 3-4 books, I forget. Sorry, the condition's just annoying me, and I want to get this done. August, I attended MatsuriCon 2022 with Ryan, Yui, and Corey. Had a good time with my friends, got some good pictures, more buttons for Valerian the Dragon, which he is over there. Should have grabbed him, my apologies. And yeah, had some thoughts on my future as a cosplay photographer. Also, another step towards that, I got business cards. I have to get them printed and shipped to me, hopefully, for OhioCon, which is on the 19th. This is New Year's Day. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, Stranger Things. A great series based in the 1980s in Indiana, where strange things happen, leading some crazy adventures. You know, basically imagine the Goonies facing off with supernatural level monsters. Not gods and angels, but things that go bump in the night. And a government conspiracy to harness a dark world known as the Upside Down. I finished season 4 and have heard that season 5 is due out in 2024. The final season, season 4, is my favorite because it hits so many notes with me personally. Loss, grief, depression, PTSD. And I think the actors portrayed their roles well, and the writers behind the series are amazing. I also did a quick video about that because, you know, like I said, it mattered a lot to me, and especially Max's story. You know, of dealing with what had happened and facing down, in some cases, those literal demons. In September, Queen Elizabeth II passed away. Very polarizing person. I don't have anything to say about her. That's it. I get why people have issues with her. And why people support her too. So yeah, she's gone. Moving forward. September 13th. Saw Clerks 3 with Patrick. It was a great movie from Kevin Smith, visiting with characters from the original Clerks roughly 30 years later. After a heart attack, you know, Randall decides to make a movie with the help of Dante, Elias, and a wacky cast of characters. Mature humor with some heartfelt stuff as well. Honestly, I don't think it was as good as Clerks 2 ultimately was, but it had some good stuff in it, and I'm glad I saw it. And like I said at the end of Clerks 2, I feel like this would be a good, you know, ending point for the View universe. I've heard some talk about a Mallrats sequel. We'll see what happens with that. I'm nearly there. I'm in November. Saw Evil Dead the musical with Patrick, Margaret, and Nancy in Salem, Ohio. That's like about 90 minutes from me. Well, from Patrick, actually, who's 30 minutes from me. And it was cool as hell. You know, I never would have guessed they could have taken the movies and put them together on stage. I talked about this in my review, but I'm going to talk about it here again. You know, some of the highlights for me, the tree scene from the original, basically Cheryl's dragged in front of the curtain, and we had that cliche getting it on music, you know, from 70s porn movies. Right from the start, you know, we got a musical number that really established how things would go. You know, oh yeah, we're having fun. We're going to the cabin in the woods. Da da da. You know, Scotty and Shelly were made more interesting characters. Scotty was a college dude bro wanting to hook up, and Shelly was, well, basically a hot airhead, and a nice costume. Yep. Right. Sorry, focus. Sorry. Um, Cheryl was an awesome replacement for Henrietta, taunting from the basement throughout, using masks to convey, the change from good to evil. Just so much work for me personally in this performance, and how they had the stage up on risers so they could utilize the basement aspect, while keeping everything visible. That takes some good planning, and of course, handling beheading and dismemberment. They had areas of the stage for that. The kitchen area, they had like a basic island, behind the counter, and near a dresser was the other spot for the hand cutting off thing. Really makes me think they could do this with Friday the 13th as well, or Halloween. IDK how a Nightmare on Elm Street would go, but I'd be down to see it if it happens. Just saying. And then we have Thanksgiving. It was a casual Thanksgiving. We weren't feeling up to going out, so we had picked up Bob Evans the night before and microwaved everything. Basically split stuff up and did it for 2 minutes per plate. Then added 30 seconds as we needed to. So it was like turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, stuffing. I think there's another thing or two, but yeah, just saying that's like a good alternative thing. It was nice. My mom and I usually do a small thing, just the two of us, on top of a normal Thanksgiving, but this was ours because she was having some sciatica issues. Basically, a nerve, I guess, that runs through your back, down your right leg, I think. It was a nice time. And, as I learned long ago, you got to hold on tight to your loved ones, and watch out for them, and, spend good times with them, too. I don't really have much about December because Christmas, it was nice. It was a normal. Nothing crazy happened. We got some cool stuff. Like I got this headset from Patrick because we started doing some more gaming because Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. I got that for myself. Patrick got that for himself. And honestly, like, I've just been taking part in that, because, Pat's gotten like a group from work that he plays with pretty regularly. Jeff, Matt, Nick, a couple other people, I guess. And yeah. And that's basically just what I've been doing, like, last bit of time, and then some video stuff. Oh, and I also did start my Brad the DM series, which is basically about, me hosting my own D&D campaign. Granted, with a trial party where I'm playing every part, and I'm putting it up on YouTube. But hopefully you know about that. If you didn't know about that, you can check it out if you like D&D, and you want to see what stuff I've come up with and I'm running with. And yeah, so that's that. I'm going to pause this here. I'm going to go blow my nose, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to take care of those who are no longer with us. So, give me 1 second, folks. Hey everyone, and welcome to part 2. Those who are no longer with us. Basically, like I said, it's good just to remember, unfortunately, who passed this year. Because there are, some very important people, from our lives that are gone. Celebrities, but also some personal people. And I want to talk about that because, it's good to keep people. And, unfortunately, we had a few more people to add to the list this year. Hopefully, in the future, I can do some, end of the road videos for some of these people. We'll see what happens. But to start, Bob Saget, the dad from Full House, as well as America's funniest home videos. He was an iconic guy, and he'll be missed. He also did some good stand-up, I guess, and yeah. I mean, like, for real, he was one of the biggest names of the 80s because of his work on TV, with Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos. I don't have much else to say about the guy, but yeah. It's like, losing America's dad, basically. Meatloaf. A musical performer, probably most famous for the lyrics. Sorry. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I'm not up to singing stuff right now because of my throat and stuff. I've heard some of his music, and he was very awesome. From what I've heard, at one point in his career, he was so hardcore they would have oxygen tanks for him off stage because he went so hard in his performances. John told me about that. John knows a lot of awesome, cool musical stuff, like rock, metal, etc. Just saying, because he's cool like that. He's cool, Dad. There you go, John. You're cool, Dad. Never said that about Patrick. Just you. My stupid sinuses. Gilbert Gottfried. Comedian, actor, and voice actor. I know him best for his roles in Aladdin, the Disney film, as well as the principal in Problem Child. And then I know he was also in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Man. I've seen him a few other places too, but yeah. Though he also had other appearances in Billy and Mandy, the Christmas special, where Santa was a vampire. Check it out. An episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, I mentioned. And I know at least 1 or 2 appearances on Married with Children. He had a unique voice, which I think really helped sell him as a character. And from what I've heard, he was a good guy. He'll be missed. I don't have the stats like, born and passed on, but hopefully I can put that below because I have that ability. Thank you, Brad, for giving me more editing work to do on this video that I have to do within 48 hours. I'm the worst boss ever. Nichelle Nichols. I'm not familiar with most of her work, but I do know that she portrayed Uhura on Star Trek, and from what I've seen of her, she was a pretty cool person. And I'm sure an inspiration to so many. She'll be missed. Bernard Cribbins portrayed Wilfred Mott on Doctor Who, a man who met the Doctor on several occasions, at least the David Tennant version. I haven't met him yet in the series myself, but the internet has been quite invested in him, and obviously he will be missed. I know there's a meme out there, of the Doctor talking with him before he sets off, saying, Wilfred says, one day I'm going to, pass on, and the Doctor's like, don't. And Wilfred says, I will try. But yeah. Coolio. Former rapper, he made some excellent music in the 80s. I know him best for Gangster's Paradise and writing the Keenan and Kel show theme song. Very cool guy. I guess he was 59 years old. Angela Lansbury. She was in Murder, She Wrote, Beauty and the Beast, and had a strong career as far back as the 40s. The 40s and 50s, as far as I know. She was like, I'd say, everyone's favorite grandmotherly type of person. Like, for real. A person I started watching a bit more recently, Pushing Up Roses, has talked about several episodes of the Murder, She Wrote series. And yeah, Angela Lansbury, she was excellent in that role. Like, she took nothing from no one. And, she helped solve a lot of cases. And, yeah. Like, for real, she was an awesome lady. And, yeah. And unfortunately, very late in this year, some big ones came down the pipeline. Ones that I do for sure hope to cover. At least 2 of them. The first is Kevin Conroy. The voice of Batman for the 90s animated series. And well into the late 2000s, passed away, unfortunately. For all of us, he was Batman. The most iconic voice who coined the line, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. I can't do it nearly as well, even if I was 100%. He meant a lot. He meant a lot to me and Patrick and so many others. I also want to put on here my friend's Pomeranian, my friend Nicole's Pomeranian, Foxy. yeah, Foxy was, a good dog and really liked her. And it's unfortunate that she's gone. She told me about it. And yeah, I just wanted to make note of that. Because, pets are a big part of our lives. Yeah. And then another big passing, unfortunately, this year was Jason David Frank. He portrayed Tommy Oliver in the Power Rangers series, playing multiple Rangers, starting out as the green, then the white, and Turbo becoming the red, as well as a few other roles that I haven't even seen. After Power Rangers, I know he took part in MMA fights as well, and he was a good man, and he'll seriously be missed. And he's the other person that I would love to do an end of the road video about. I'm trying to wait some time, for that, because it feels appropriate to at least wait some months, afterwards. Maybe a year or so. I don't know. We'll see when that is. But yeah. And also, I'd like to cover, Gilbert Gottfried, Angela Lansbury, and our last person here, Kirstie Alley. I know she was on Cheers for sure, and I've seen her in a few other things. She was a beautiful woman who did quite a bit of TV work in the 80s and 90s. She seemed very cool, and yeah. Again, she's another, famous person who passed. I don't have as much to say about her, but I do remember the name, I do remember the face, and yeah. Whew. And, yeah, that wraps up, the end of the road for 2022 for people. Like I said, I will try and do videos for, people as I get time and I figure things out. I'm trying to make things work. But yeah, for sure, Jason David Frank, Kevin Conroy are on the top of my list. And I will get them out at some point. Especially the Kevin Conroy, because Patrick and I can talk about him because, Batman, he's a major character to both of us. But of course, everyone on that list, is worthy of being talked about. And I may not be the right person to talk about some of them. So, yeah. So that's why if I don't get to certain people or I seem to neglect other people, I didn't know them. I can't say, oh, this person mattered so much to me. So, yeah. A little bit of a downer note to leave this point on, but we're going to go upward with, my plans for 2023 and just, a nice little personal positive message going into 2023 as well. So give me 1 second. Hey everyone, and welcome to the final parts of the end of 2022, or whatever the heck I call this video. I'm not sure yet. That's editor Brad's problem, not mine. But I just wanted to wrap this up, with the plans for 2023. I talked about, one of the big things I talked about was adopting a cat. Sorry, bit in my teeth. Basically, we got to do some, maintenance stuff around the house. Basically, the last thing that we want to do is get the basement dried up. Basically, like in the spring or whenever it rains heavily, we have some issues with flooding. Nothing serious, like, oh no, the house is going to fall apart or anything, but definitely, like, we should get this addressed so we can properly store stuff down there without issues. We're trying to coordinate that. I'm not sure when exactly, but hopefully soon. And then, we can start moving stuff from what is essentially our guest room down to the basement so that we can have, like, a space for the cat to have as its own. That's one of the big important things for me personally. And guest room on the first floor, perfect place for the cat. And if we ever have guests, well, hey, guess what? Figure with the cat. That's all I'm going to say to you. Let me see. What else is there? Obviously continuing the Brad the DM series is obviously on the books. Hopefully doing, actually I'm not sure if I want to, but, I'll put forth the idea that I might do, Brad's D&D story, with Darb, the half-orc bard, might come up. The only problem is Darb is a character in the game, the trial party, but also his own story, so it might be a bit confusing. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Hopefully, potentially more Doctor Who, so I can continue on that story arc. And like I said, whenever I talked about Doctor Who most recently, find a good stopping point. So oh hey, get done with the stuff for Jonathan Pertwee, the third Doctor, and then put a pause there. Get the stuff done for the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, and then continue the series again. Basically, I don't want to stop in the middle like I currently am. I want to finish with a Doctor, and then, hey, if the series doesn't continue after that, it's whatever. And also, hopefully, I can do the writing in such a good fashion that, it's a nice little bookend for, Brad versus James thing, because, writing stories is kind of an interest of mine. I did mention, the cosplay photographer thing. Hopefully, I can get my cards done for OhioCon. I can get those to, specifically, for sure, the photo shoot captains, the staff for those things, as well as the people running them, so they have a reference point for, oh hey, I can get the pictures that you got from your own personal Facebook page, or I can get some more traffic to the High Voltage Cosplay Facebook page, which is a page that I contribute for. Michael and Ryan are the ones who started the page. I'm just a contributor. I can make comments and such, as High Voltage Cosplay Photography on there, but that is theirs. They started it. I came into it late. I just want to 100% clearly establish that. I'm never going to try and take that from you guys. That is your thing. I'm just trying to help, give you my pictures, get traffic to it, and you guys can do whatever the heck you want with it. I like it. I think it's a good place. It's a cool thing that you guys are doing, and I want to help out, like I always do. So hopefully, I can get some of my own pictures. I can get pictures of my cool steampunk, outfit for myself on my own time, because I've, just wanted to do that. I've got some good settings around here in front of the garage, in the backyard, etc., etc. I just had to set up my camera myself and do it myself. And also give me some more practice as a cosplay photographer, give me more in my portfolio. I can potentially open doors as a cosplay photography model. We'll see about that last one. But yeah, I just like photography, and I just like the characters that I can write. But my steampunk character is a character that I can actually embody and be. Also trying to work out a bit more would be nice. And then, also just watching more modern Doctor Who. Watching other series that catch my interest, because people mention them, like Ozark on Netflix, the Wednesday Addams series on Netflix. There's stuff on HBO Max. I don't know what else there is, but there's just a bunch of stuff out there that I want to watch. Play more Modern Warfare, get to the Yakuza series better. My God, I got so much fun random stuff to do. I don't even know how I'm going to do all of it in a lifetime. But I will try my best. And then, of course, the other important personal things that I have to do. Keep working, watch out for family, watch out for my friends. Try and be a better friend to some of you guys. And I guess that leads me into the final positive message going into 2023. And I'm hoping I haven't said this before, but one of the most important things that you, the individual, can do, for your friends, your family, those closest to you, at times is just be a good spot of light for them. Now, it's kind of a hard thing to really define because, light for one person can be many different things. For one person it can be just, that person they can vent to, they can talk to, they can get advice from. But spot of light for another person might be oh hey, you make them laugh, you joke with them, you have fun, you engage with them. And it's not the easiest thing to do always. Especially when you're in your 30s and you're working and you got other personal responsibilities and yada yada. And yes, I'm making excuses, but I'm just saying, like, don't put too much on yourself. Because if you spread yourself too thin, then you're not going to be able to do everything that you need to do. You need to look at the situations, judge them for yourself, and decide, if you can do something, if you need to reach out to somebody, if, you want to call somebody else in who's better suited to handle things. Like, it's not going to be easy. And honestly, it never is, But you keep at it. Because being that spot of light for people is important. You gotta keep yourself going, and I don't want to see anybody in my personal life, fall by the wayside, And I will do my best. I will be there when I can. I will try and engage with people as best I can. And I'll just try and have fun, crazy, random adventures with you guys where possible. Whether it's, oh hey, we're going to this carnival or festival, or we're going out to the movies, or hey, you're a food expert, a good restaurant to get food from, maybe we should go there and get food. If you're feeling called out, some people in my life, yeah. And also, some other fun, like, easy stuff that you can do to be a spot of light for people. Hey, like, engage with them daily. Like, oh hey, this one guy I know does movie quote of the day. And has fun with it. And honestly, people, like, look forward to it so much. And, like, yeah. Or Christmas time. Oh, hey. This guy I know does Christmas cards. And people remember it. And Pat told this person, hey, this person really liked when you did Christmas cards a couple years back. For sure, if you do it this year, please make sure this person gets them. Pat told me about this conversation afterwards, obviously. That's how I know that he said it to the person. Which is a weird thing to say to a person, but... Well, to say to me that is not the person, clearly, because... reasons. It's also trying to be comedy. I'm still congested, man. It's hard. It was me. I did it. And I did it again. After slacking and screwing up and... not really getting cards out on time, but Pat bailed me out again. He's good like that. I guess you could say he's one of my spots of light. Because, man, existing is a challenge sometimes. So it's good to have somebody who's got your back. Thank you, Patrick. There's your big shout out in this video. Because I always have to shout him out, because, he's my brother. And I love him, and he helps me out a lot. And hopefully I can repay that kindness. Someday, somehow, some way. Hopefully I don't have to give you a kidney. Because Lefty, yeah, it had stones, and... yeah... I don't know. Sorry, it's hard to, be comedy, but also serious and fun, and... for me, anyway. Other people can do it, and respect to them. But, yeah, back to just being a source of light for people. Honestly... just trying, sending that text saying, hey, Merry Christmas, I hope you had a good day. I heard things have been a bit rough. Or, movie quote of the day, having fun with them. Or, just letting them know that you care, however you do that. I can't tell you how to do it for everyone, because everyone is different. But, I know if anyone can help brighten one person's day, it's you. You can do that. You can make their day better. And, maybe that'll branch out from you to them to other people to an endless wave of positivity. And hopefully, things can get better for that. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep being a bard and a clown and whatever the heck else I am. For myself, for you guys, for everyone. I want things to be good. I want things to be nice. And, I want you guys to get through your tough times. You know, over like the last couple months, like people talked about some rough stuff. You know, everybody's okay as far as I know, but just, oh hey, darn, you know, this stuff that I got to get fixed, or I got to look into this, you know, or other things, you know, and all I can say, you know, for those things is you just got to take these things one step at a time. You know what the problem is. You know, next you got to figure out who can fix it. Who do you talk to? Can you fix it? That'd be awesome. You know, and yeah. I'm honestly not sure what else to say at this point, so I think I will just leave it at, you know, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course remember every character, every year, every day has a story to tell. I'm Valiant Bradley James, the character investigator, the cosplay enthusiast, the cosplay photographer, the guy with congestion apparently, and, you know, the guy with hopefully some good advice. Until next time, peace.